Soften your seat. Here is a simple process on how to make your stock motorcycle seat more comfortable. It's a process that really works and gives instant results. I've virtually watched all the online videos for gel pad fitting. They all use the same long process of cutting the foam with a knife. I like to think outside of the box and have found a better, more accurate and quicker solution. If you can no longer bear your motorcycle stock seat's lack of comfort, then drastic matters require drastic actions.
Mr. Soft, won't you tell me why the world in which you're living is so strange?
And I'll be perfectly honest with you, this video did actually start as a gel pad fitting video. In the end, I never actually even fitted the gel. Right, because the angle grinder is left like a millimeter gap between each centimeter square, this movement, and because this movement, it's actually softer. I kid you not, that is a different seat altogether than before I cut the slits. It's so different, in fact, and so much softer. You know what? I'm not going to put the gel in. I'm really not, because I trialed the gel on my desk seat for 2 weeks and it wasn't that much more comfortable, to be honest. And maybe this is the reason that people do a video about fitting the gel seat, but they never follow up with how comfortable it is. So that is so comfortable, it's unbelievable. That is what I'm looking for. Wow. Is this an internet first, YouTubers? Is this an internet first? Are you going to make me viral? Please, please do. Because that's cost no money, apart from the 20p millimeter stainless steel angle grinder blade. That's all it's cost. And that's so much softer. Unbelievable. So much more reaction in the foam than before when it was solid foam. I'm not going to change it. The cover's going on. I'll give you an update after a couple of days, okay? So normally after cutting the squares you would rip them out one by one and eventually make the base level so you could have room to insert your gel pad. Because I'm not doing this, I'm going straight ahead and putting the seat cover back on, but the option is always there for the future. You can still rip out those squares and insert a gel pad if and when required. Well, shall I tell you something? That's the most comfortable ride I've had to 7-Eleven in the last 5 weeks since the ownership of this bike. My goodness. That has made such a difference to the seat. I can honestly say it feels softer than my Meteor 350 now. It's such a soft and comfortable seat, just by cutting those slits in the seat. Unbelievable. So up next is a step-by-step guide on how I achieved this and what I did. If you don't want to see this, but you want to see more review updates on the seat after the 2 or 3 days, then just skip to the end part. I'm demonstrating this on my brand new Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. Step 1. Remove the seats. This is easily done by separating the material between the riding and pillion seat, where you will find 2 hex screws. So I'm just about to remove the 2 hex screws holding in the rear pillion seat. They're quite long screws actually, so they do take a bit of getting out. There we go, there's one with a washer. And there's the hex screw. And to remove the passenger seat then, it's just a case of pull it backwards and away we go. I can see why my wife doesn't like sitting on that. That is rock hard, absolutely rock hard. So that is going to be a future video. If this one is a success, this will be a future video. This now gives us access to the two 10mm bolts behind the rider's seat. Step 2. Removing the seat cover staples. This is all trial and error. I've never done this before. I have watched various YouTube videos. Very disappointed with them because they all show you how to do it, but they don't actually give you the results of after they've done it. And that's one thing I intend to do. I'm not going to release this video until I've used it for a day or two and actually give you my honest opinion of whether it's worth doing or not. So anyway, the first thing we could do is remove the staples around the outside. I've counted that there is at least 50 of them. I'm going to put the screwdriver in. No, I can't. There we go. I can get it in. Pull out one side. They're only straight in, they're not bent on the other side, and then just a curved pair of thin nose pliers. Hold it at the bottom, pull it down, and it just lifts it out. So not too difficult, it's just the initial start to get them out. We can get one side out with the screwdriver, the other side has to be removed with the thin nose pliers. The crooked thin nose pliers, as my dad would say. My mentor. Right, let's find out together what's underneath here. All the clips are out. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. I don't want to ruin my bike, and I have got a Royal Enfield group bike ride lined up in the next couple of weeks, so I definitely need a working seat for then. So we're just peeling off the cover. It's a stretch cover. Oh, I've missed a staple. I've missed one. I have missed one. Oh, neighbour's children. Thank you. Right. There we go. Oh, what have we got? It looks like memory foam, but it definitely isn't. It's too hard. It's too hard for memory foam. So there's our cover, which we need to reuse. Let's keep that safe and away from the cats. And this is the one that we need to cut. We just have to decide where to cut it, which is where my Mr. DIY marker pen comes in handy, hopefully. There we go, that's better. So, yeah, it's kind of soft, but it's not. And on a long journey, I've got no recoil in the seat whatsoever. I mean, to be fair, on my trip to Bangkok, 9 hours in the saddle a day is long enough on any motorbike. So it was a bit unfair to grade the seat like that. But just on my day-to-day running to school, using my bike as an everyday form of transport, I go over a bump and it's still too hard. I just need something. I need the seat to actually be a shock absorber as well, just like the old-fashioned motorbikes used to be, right? They used to have springs underneath them, and they would absorb the shock as much as the suspension. So let's just see if this gel works or it doesn't. But we'll let you know. So hopefully you can see where the staples did go. So that's the line I need to follow all the way around. And when they go through, it's the seat protecting them. So they are going to be sharp on the other side, but you're not going to feel them because of the padding of the seat. So anyway, it's nearly cutting time. I'm very scared. All right, I'm very scared. So I'm sat on the bike as I would normally sit, and I'm going to take my marker pen and mark in front of me and mark behind me. And that will give me the line to cut, I'm thinking. It's pointless putting gel where I don't need it. I'm just going to put it where I sit. Right, let's have a look at that. What have we done? What have I marked? Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay. And there we have it, the shape of my buttocks. So I'm using the Stanley knife, a brand new one, so it's fairly sharp. I'm going to cut to a depth of 1.5 centimeters, which is luckily where the 45 degree is on my knife. But it's a very difficult process, a jagged process. It takes cut after cut after cut, and I just imagined having to cut all those lines that I've drawn on the seat, and it would take forever and not a nice job. And even before I started this, I had the idea of using an angle grinder or a disc cutter, and I bought a very thin stainless steel blade, about 1 millimeter in thickness or less actually, and it was very handy that it had a red line around it, which was exactly the depth that I wanted to cut. So I had a guide when the cutter was spinning how deep to go. So I've cut around all the outside with the Sharpie knife, and obviously it's not going to come out without cutting all the individual squares, but I'm going to try this with my angle grinder, I do believe, and I think I'm at the limit also. I can see a bit of black plastic there, so I don't want to get rid of all the foam. I still want to keep some in there, right? So it's a very fine line between foam and gel for softness, and obviously heat is going to be a problem also. I don't want a sweaty butt either. So actually this crazy idea works extremely well. I've just cut a cross section in it, and it's very easy, and it makes a constant depth. There we go. You saw it here first, right? I've not seen that on YouTube to date, so I think that's my first hack. So it's a bit of a dusty job, but we've done that in about 2 minutes flat, so a lot quicker than the knife. But the only thing I've now discovered is that feels really soft. That really feels a lot softer than it did before. I'm now inclined not to even rip out the foam and put the cover back on like that. That's made the seat so much softer. Unbelievable. What to do? What to do? What would you like me to do? Test it like this first, or rip it out? There's so much more movement in that foam seat now. So much more movement. Oh my goodness. That's really soft, really soft. It actually feels softer than the gel pad just by having it crisscrossed. I didn't cut it every centimetre in the end, I cut it every 2 centimetres. So it's a 2 centimetre square, 2 centimetre square. Sometimes 3 centimetres there. But that's so much softer. Wow. I'm so tempted just to leave it like that for now, because I know that gel was quite hard at a certain point, but that's just... Day 2, I've just got home from school. The ride to school this morning was a totally different ride, and the way back this afternoon totally underlined that this is so much more comfortable. I'm not feeling the vibrations in the road, I'm not feeling the powerful bumps as I go over a big bump. It just totally smooths things out, so I'm delighted with this. I'm going to report back one more day tomorrow also. So I've not even replaced the pillion seat yet, I've not done that yet. I've not even stapled the seat cover, and it's sat there behaving itself nicely. When I pull that a little bit tighter, it's going to look better anyway. but that's just sprung loaded on there and it's surprising itself. But there, it's so soft. Where I haven't cut, it's so hard. That reminds me of what it was like. But as somebody suggested on a comment to me, that if I sit here when I'm maneuvering the bike, it makes you lower, flat-footed, and it does. It really does. So I need to learn to move forward when I'm maneuvering the bike, when I'm stationary. But that is just so hard compared to what I've just done to the rest of the seat. So I am going to cut this also to make it softer, and maybe I sink down even more to get better foot height on the bike. That's so hard in comparison to what I've done here. So hard. So anyway, it's working, guys. It's absolutely working. So much softer, so much softer. And that's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. That's what these are. They look smaller, but they're this big. So much softer. And I'm now confident to re-staple the seat cover with my new heavy-duty staple gun. From all the new tools I purchased prior to this job, the only ones I'm actually going to use are the cutting disc, the marker pen, the knife, and the heavy-duty stapler. I've had 100,000 views of my videos. I've only got 450 subscribers. I don't know what's going wrong with that. So please, 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 if you like this hack, it hasn't cost you any money, just my time. I'm sharing it with you, so please subscribe, right? Please. Something else I need to show you is the shopping trip that we've just done, right? We've just done a shopping trip. So I emptied my bag of my gaiters and my waterproofs because I knew I was going shopping on the 7-Eleven. So we have got 4 bags of rice, cooked, 1 chicken tikka masala, 1 loaf of bread, and 3 large drinks. There we go. Shopping done. Thanks to my saddlebag hack, which again cost virtually no money to make that saddlebag bracket. So if you haven't seen that video, you need to watch that one also. Thanks, guys.